Oh, it says Cranston West versus Smithfield. Yeah, whatever.
Why?
Did you start the recording?
Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of RIIL Boys Soccer Action on the Sports Fan Base Network, Rhode Island. It is the city championship, the battle of the rivals, East versus West, Cranston West Falcons and the Cranston East Thunderbolts. Welcome into the broadcast booth. Matthew Gillis with you on this cold and blustery Saturday afternoon in Cranston, Rhode Island. The West Falcons entering in 32nd ranked in the state. 4 wins, no draws, 3 losses on the season overall. That is also their league record for the East Thunderbolts. 4 wins, 3 draws, 1 loss. 4-3-0 is their league record. Over top of the ball first is the West Falcons in the red with white trim and white numbers. East in the black with green trim and numbers. And here is a long pass looping over top onto the foot of Andrade. He's going to control left side line. He'll flick back, trying to get it to Chaudhry. Chaudhry is stuck defensively there, and it goes out of bounds off of Chaudhry's foot, so it's going to be a throw in for the Falcons. On that restart will be Thomas Raspallo. We apologize for the error on the scoreboard in the midst of trying to fix that. It does say Cranston West versus Smithfield. We understand that was a previous game this week. This is East versus West that you are watching. I assure you of that. Ball back here for Lopez. Lopez trying to flick forward. Onto the foot of Andrade. Comes all the way back into the defensive third. Picked up by Paquette. Paquette now has an opportunity here for DeFazio. DeFazio on the outside of the 18, crossing in, and that is blocked away. Restart opportunity here, and actually an offsides called initially. Thunderbolts up to midfield. That's picked off. Turned back around by Turchetta. Outside for DeFazio. Taps inside, and then on the overlap run, here's DeFazio again, looking midfield for Paquette. Paquette skies it as it comes across. Touchline throw in for the Falcons, Turchetta. Controlling here. Back pass. Onto the foot of Raspallo. Across the center back position to Conti. And the Falcons will now try to work the opposite sideline. They cannot get anything started up as it ping-pongs around and then heads out of bounds. East throw in. Lopez originally had the ball. He's going to dump that off. Now Lopez. Thunderbolts trying to gain the offensive zone by pushing through the alleyway on the far side touchline from our broadcast position. Here's an opportunity now. Crossing shot thrown on goal by Reyes, but it goes to the left in a 6. It's Cataldi in net for the Falcons today. Backfield control. Zeroni trying to get something. Now turned over Molina. Clipped away. Offensive push now. Turned over again and goes the opposite direction. Andrade 1v1 against Cataldi, and he saves. Falcons now again. Conti. Midfield ball for Thibodeau. On the outside touchline. trying to release Luke Schmidt on the overlap run. It's just a step out of play. And the Thunderbolts just shepherd out. Turchetta. Crossfield to the top of the arc. Nobody there. Thunderbolts now moving through midfield. Release over. Mastery trying to make a run here on the sideline. That's Van Rensselaer just shepherding to his goalkeeper. Now onto the foot of Schmidt. Schmidt again. Taking a run on the alleyway. Nothing there. Restart by Evans on the throw. Drops back. Comes across right onto the head of DeFazio. And the first 6 for the Thunderbolts. Comes to midfield. Chaudhry. Taken off of the play by Turchetta. Again here trying to get to DeFazio, but they run out of real estate. Thibodeau. Inside on the body of Morales. Morales trying to make the turn there. Gets it midfield for Gooch. Gooch goes opposite sideline. Releasing on the cross. And it goes wide of the net. So 2 opportunities for the Thunderbolts. One wide to the left and one wide to the right, as they are trying to break open the scoring early here in the first half. Now West. That was Schmidt bumped down on the play. Restart by Turchetta. Shepherded out of bounds there. And Molina will go. Now straight down the line. Goes right into 4 red jerseys awaiting. They try to push it forward for Paquette. Comes all the way back. Bouncing ball. Mestre on the run there. He's unable to get to it, and it goes out of bounds for another Thunderbolts throw. Lopez. Mestre. Both sides dominating in the middle of the pitch. Neither gaining too much control in the lower third. However, East has had 2 shots close to frame and 1 on frame that was saved by Cataldi. Here's an opportunity right in the center for Andrade. Now DeFazio trying to make a reverse turn. Bouncing around through the midfield again. This is Chaudhry. Back on the foot of DeFazio. Goes for the overlap run here in the alleyway. That's Schmidt with an opportunity here down the side of the 18. Crossing through, switching foot. And Schmidt has a shot on goal, and a follow-up shot is blocked away as well. Double dose of opportunity for the Falcons, and they cannot find home. Turchetta. Long looping ball to the opposite side. Trying to connect with Evans. Here's an opportunity now and a strike off the foot of Thibodeau. East and West have met once already this season. In fact, West dropped a 2-1 result away to East back on October 24th. They also just recently dropped a 3-run result to Pilgrim last week, who of course beat Mount Hope 4-1 last night in a game that was shown on sfbnri.com. And we will have RIIL playoff action next week, in fact on Monday, featuring Pilgrim and Lincoln. Shot there over top of the hands of Cataldi, but he is able to push it past the byline. And we have our first corner of the game for the East Thunderbolts as Chaudhry heads to the arc. Four red jerseys in the 6, no white. And now one as Molina comes in. Attempted head across by Carrillo. Now put back into play by Andrade right at the center of the 6. Controlled for a second, tried to make a turn, and now a long strike is going to come from Carrillo, and that's going to go way to the left. Six opportunity for Cataldi. Sends it short. Progressive play up the backfield. Onto the foot of DeFazio. Controlled. Sent back into the midfield. Schmidt. Drops back. Picked off on the play is Mestri, and he tries to take it the direction for East. Now controlled on the overlap here, Andrade. Carlos Andrade showing his field prowess as a striker, going right to left, switching positions, trying to get any opportunity that they can. And that's going to come out of the back of the byline, so it's going to be yet another corner for East as Chaudhry heads back to the arc. And they'll try this one more time. Again, still all of the East jerseys outside of the 6, and now come back in, and Andrade tries to get a header to the ball. Cataldi. Over top of the head of two of his midfield players before finally connecting onto the foot of Paquette. Paquette switches the field. 1v1 battle right at the center of the pitch. And it is coming the way of Molina, who is then interrupted on that run by Conti. Conti overlapping to Schmidt. Schmidt, opportunity here at the 18, loses one defender, trying to lose a second one and loses control of the ball this time, and Schmidt has to backtrack to Turchetta. Turchetta, long shot opportunity, bounces right in. Booted away here, middle of the pitch now. Over top of Van Rensselaer. And he shepherds it all the way down. Lopez. Deep throw opportunity for East. Now they try to run the ball across the line. Chaudhry had it, and it's going to come back out before it's picked up by Molina. Right at the top of the arc. West regains control. DeFazio, now here at midfield, works around the defensive action of Chaudhry. DeFazio has an open alley and a run. 1v1 against Carrillo. Shot opportunity stopped and held onto. David White standing tall to the task in net for the Thunderbolts. We now have the technical error fixed on the scoreboard. We apologize for that. And as we mentioned, you are properly showing Cranston East versus Cranston West. The wonders of technology combined with still it being 2020. Conti. Controlled play now here at the midfield. Step over top. Turquetta. Bounces over, and it will be picked up for a throw-in by Reyes. And a stoppage of play on the substitution. And Chaudhry comes out of the game for East a little frustrated. Not exactly sure what he could be at. He's so far put in a good first 15 minutes of work. Throw in here. Sends it right to the line, and it is bounced out of the byline, and so we have yet another corner. Reyes will trot back to the arc. Cranston East, 15 goals for on the season, 12 against. So they certainly can score when they get open opportunity. Coming off of a 3-3 draw versus Mount Pleasant last Saturday, a game that was broadcast right here on sfbnri.com. This ball comes in, now bounces over top of everyone, so it squibs into the lower third and will be controlled by White as Schmidt was jogging in. Midfield play controlled by Lopez. Outside opportunity for Evans now. Has an open alley. Runability here. Dumps to Schmidt. Schmidt is tied up. 1v1. Dumps down. Evans picks it up for option. Sends right into Paquette. Still an opportunity there. Controlled by Thibodeau. Now has to be picked up backfield here for Conti. Van Rensselaer. And Zeroni had the ball but lost real estate on the touchline. Errant header comes back right to Raspallo. Now midfield for Molina. Conti. 4 across the back on a flat 4, protecting that line in the lower third, has not allowed East to enter into the zone, short of corner kicks being their only offensive set within the last 7-8 minutes of this match, as they are now trying a shot here off of the foot of Molina, and that's from about 30 out, so it bounces right in, and an easy pickup for Cataldi. So both center and the left and right backs playing very strong for the Falcons. Controlled opportunity here in the midfield. Turquetta releasing Schmidt over top. He is onside for a moment, but then he slows up his run, and it's tapped away by Andrade. Andrade now running through the midfield area, trying to regain possession. He does. Has a switch opportunity if he can connect. Molina was leading and then did not make the run. Comes back Evans. Now Paquette. Midfield. Picked up by Schmidt. Schmidt stuck in the middle of 2 defenders, and so the ball just squibs. Andrade. trying to release into the open alley was Lopez, and he just ran out of space.
So now entering the game, number 22, PJ DeSimone.
Substitution for Cranston West brings DeSimone into the game. Opportunity now here for Paquette. Outside line, looking for help inside the 18. Comes back to the top. Cross opportunity for Evans. Drops it to the side for Thibodeau. Goes back into the body of Molina. Molina tries to carry out. He has no one available. And it's shepherded away by the West defense. Deep throw opportunity does not even go into the field of play, and so an easy turnover there. And Falcons will have an opportunity now for a throw. Paquette. Picked up, turned the other way. If they can get across, opportunity here for Benton. Runs out of real estate. And Kyle Benton will have a deep throw. Into Lopez. Lopez turning, corner of the 18, shot cross the mouth of the goal and just wide to the right. The Thunderbolts are knocking on the door but have yet to connect with the frame or the twine. And here's Paquette going the other way for the Falcons. Clearing ball, skips back, one hop, picked up by Cataldi. Midfield play. Controlled by Turquetta. Schmidt. Opportunity as he gets through two defenders. Coming out is White, and he is first to the ball. And White will clear as it will come across and bounce down just over the head of Lopez. Lopez will now track back. Trying to gain field definition as the Thunderbolts, as they were a little set off by the long send from White. And they have to drop all the way into the backfield for Carrillo. Carrillo sends it upfield for Lopez. Now controlled here, and there's the open opportunity as they loft it over the line, and Benton has a run one more time before it's picked up by Cataldi. Falcons trying to release. Andrade here sends it all the way across the field out of bounds, and we'll have a throw in by Van Rensselaer. About midway through the first stanza, there will be a competition break roughly coming around the 19-minute mark. That is part of the RIIL return to play rules that were put into place, in which they will call similar to a hydration break in hot weather, but it's a mask break, which gives the players a chance to rehydrate as well, but more importantly gives them an opportunity to change out the masks that all the players and referees are wearing on the field. And as mentioned, there is the whistle for the mask break. No score here as we are midway through the first stanza. Cranston East versus Cranston West. You're watching RIIL Boys Soccer on the Sports Fan Base Network, Rhode Island.
Oh, cool. All
overlays in there. If you go down further on that screen, so like where it says like full screen graphic, if you hit start, no, if you just hit the start button, it should pop up. No, it doesn't matter. We can still do it. Hit next. Yep, there it is. So yeah, so there's a let them play RI sweatshirt, and then if you click next again, yeah, there's the shirt with the graphic. Okay, and then that's the graphic. Yep. There should be one more in there. That's the blind guy one. So you can just leave it at that. It's blind guy. Yeah. So you can just leave that one up, because that one sits all the way up top. The other one's in the middle of the screen. So that one just sits all the way up top, and then it'll be in the screen. Like if you go and look at if you look at the Mount Hope game from last night, you'll see it sits up at the top of the screen like through the whole broadcast. Welcome back to Cranston West High School Stadium. RIIL boys soccer action on the Sports Fan Base Network Rhode Island. Honors even at 0 as we took a break, the mask break under the return to play rules here in the first half of action. RIIL boys soccer on the Sports Fan Base Network Rhode Island is brought to you by The Blind Guy. For more information, check out theblindguyonline.com. Matt Gillis with you here in the broadcast booth. Cranston West Falcons in the red with white trim and white numbers. The East Thunderbolts in the all-white kits with green trim and numbers. And the aforementioned Thunderbolts over top of the ball here. This is Molina. Bumped off on the play by Van Rensselaer. 1v1 with him now. Van Rensselaer bothers him a little bit, and Molina drops back on the play. To Cavallaro. Runs out of play, and Van Rensselaer will have the restart for the Falcons. Long throw trying to connect with Paquette. Molina comes back across for Gooch. Check that. Sorry, that's Andrade there in the center. Throw in from Mestri. And an obstruction play there. No advantage available for the Falcons, and so they'll get the restart. Turquetta. Midfield for DeSimone. Comes back for Conti. Conti's rubbed off the ball. He's in a 1v1 battle now. Coming back to help him is DeSimone. Opportunity here instead for the Thunderbolts, and they sky that one over top of the crossbar off of the foot of Rodriguez Aponte. He's certainly going to want that one back as he immediately put his hands to his head knowing what he had done. On the foot of Reyes. Reyes here now works the outside alley. Has Rodriguez Aponte in the middle, along with Andrade. Opportunity coming across, and it's headed over top. So 2 crossing opportunities left to right for the Thunderbolts, and they have put both of them over top of the crossbar, giving Cataldi a 6. This time it was Benton guilty of sending the ball too high. Pops to the bench, throwing from Mellitz. Down here in the center for Benton. And the considerable amount of whistles coming due to the body-to-body action occurring in the midfield as both of these teams getting a little frustrated maybe with the lack of offensive control, and so they're trying to body out the center, left, and right backs in any way they can. Here again is Reyes. Controlled here in the middle of the field, Molina. Comes back across to Carrillo. And West will clear it out. They will actually connect. And an opportunity here on the outside alley for Schmidt. And he is bumped off the ball by McDonough. But the Falcons will retain possession. Turquetta. For Evans, who loses control right in front of Mestry. Who instead will step away, and it will be McDonough with the throw. The Falcons certainly have had their share of being able to find the back of the net this season. 16 goals for on the season, 12 against. Though their last result was not one in favor as they dropped a 3-run result to Pilgrim last week. This is the final regular season game for both of these teams. As we mentioned, the Falcons entering in with 4 wins, no draws, 3 losses on the season. The East Thunderbirds coming in 4 wins, 3 losses, 3 draws, 1 loss on the season. Did I say that? Controlled ball here by Reyes. Squibb spinner out to midfield, finally picked up and controlled by the Falcons. This will be Mestry here right about center of the pitch as he walks up towards the center line before throwing it back in. Gets it for a second onto the foot of Benton. Squibbs over for Rodriguez Aponte. Releasing Benton right at the top of the arc, and Benton is collided into and dumped down. And with Benton down on the field injured, a stoppage of play. As Benton is helped up there by the training staff and thankfully walking off the field on his own power. Always a good sight to see after being down on the turf for couple of minutes. Be a massive substitution. It's basically a line change here for the Falcons as they will enter 3 players into the game.
Now entering the game for Cranston West, number 3, James
Or not.
Moray, number 19, Vincent Merlino, and number 20, Christopher Caballero.
The referees initially waved them onto the field and then sent them back to the center. So they'll wait for another moment. Ball comes out. In favor of the Falcons for a moment here. This is Evans. Now controlled by Zerone. Trying to look for Paquette in the center. It's booted back by the East defense. Now they switch fields, trying to release Evans on that outside line. There's going to be a run deep ball here, and it's going to go out of the byline and a 6 opportunity. And now we will get the substitutions as there will be 3 for West and 1 for East. Looks to be Molina re-entering the game here for East. And a long 6 booted all the way out, comes down center of the pitch. Controlled here by West. Opportunity on the foot of Schmidt. Schmidt going body to body with Molina. Molina tumbles down. Schmidt had control of the ball for a second. And a stoppage of play as the ref just has a little bit of a conversation before the ball is booted all the way down into the lower third. Picked up here is Turquetta. Sent midfield. Trying to put it onto the foot of Merlino. Merlino goes outside touchline. For Van Rensselaer. Moving it up. Now to Merlino again. Overlap run for DeSimone. Comes back midfield. No one there for West. Andrade has a foot on it, and Andrade sends a ball all the way down for Rodriguez Aponte, and it bounces back out, and so it comes back into the midfield one more time. This time it will be picked up and controlled by the Falcons. They have an overlap opportunity now in the alley. Cavallaro. Off of Cavallaro's back on the hard kick from Lenk. Turquetta. Picked up by Schmidt. Schmidt running through. Trying to split 3 white jerseys, now 4, now 5 in front of him. Schmidt still controlling the ball. Gets it to Cavallaro. Comes back out for DeSimone. Reverse field. Van Rensselaer. Top of the arc. Shot on frame. Hits the crossbar and goes in from Dylan Zerone. What a goal. An errant clear pops right to the top of the arc, and Dylan Zerone bangs it home, and the Falcons are on the board 1-0.
West goal scored by number 8, Dylan Zerone.
17th goal on the season for the Falcons, puts them 1 to the good. Roughly 14 minutes left to go in the first half. A crucial first break for both sides as they jockey for playoff position and Cranston bragging rights. As we mentioned, West dropped a result to East 2-1 back on the 24th of October. So here we sit just a few weeks later, and they are trying to right the ship and make it even on the season. This is going to tap all the way back, shepherded by Conti. Controlled now here in the middle of third. Opportunity right onto the foot of Andrade, and it goes straight down, and Cataldi is able to body it. Alleyway opportunity now. Here's Cavallaro. Schmidt trying to get Cavallaro on the overlap. That's up, intercepted by Mestre. Mestre carries back across before he's disturbed by Raspallo. Chaudhry. Actually, he's going to drop that off for Lopez to make the throw. Lopez into Chaudhry. Now Lopez takes it, trying to split through multiple defenders. Gets it instead onto the foot of Andrade. Andrade goes to the corner, and it's out of the byline and called a corner. And a few of the West family members in attendance had a bit of consternation regarding the referee's call. It will be a Nadeem Chaudhry corner instead of a goal kick as they were hoping for. Chaudhry. Right to the center, punched away by Cataldi. Still controlled here by the Thunderbolts. Mellits. Cross opportunity from the 18. It goes over into the center and off of the head of a charging forward. That in the person of Rodriguez Aponte. And we'll get a couple of more substitutions here as East will bring two players on, and one of those looks to be the returning jog onto the field of Cale Benton, who went down a few moments earlier, shooken up on a play. Good to see Benton back on the pitch. Here's Molina in a 2v1 battle, and he loses that one as it squibs all the way back. And West will get a throw in right about the midfield stripe. Turqueta. Schmidt. Molina takes them off of the ball, and Andrade has it. Goes opposite sideline to Carrillo. Shepherded out of play by Conti, and will force East for a throw. About 6.5 left to go here in the first half. Just one goal on the board, that in the wicked strike from Dylan Zeroni, which has put West one to the good. Lower third opportunity here. That is now just shepherded out by Lenk. And the aforementioned goal scorer Zeroni will have a throw. Or is it called a corner? It did actually get outside the touchline, so it's going to be the corner there. Zeroni, right to the center, clears over top of all of his teammates, goes to the opposite side of the 18, and then is bounced away by a couple of different East defenders. Back here for DeSimone. DeSimone sends a ball back in. Schmidt has an opportunity on it. He gets there before White does, and here's a chance for West. Schmidt can't do anything with it. Gets it back to the point of the 18. Then kicked away by the East defense that actually bounces and stays inbounds for a second before bouncing out. A whistle and a card given. And I'm not entirely sure why he got sent off. I thought I saw the referee only flash him a yellow card, which would not have necessarily sent him off. And now here's an opportunity here for West, but blocked up by David White. And we'll try to get an explanation on that during the halftime. But currently, East is playing with only 10 men on the field. Opportunity here. Controlled midfield. Flipped over top. Benton here with a run on the outside. He's blocked by Conte. Benton gets control of the ball right at the 18. Andrade. Is he going to have a go? Turns once, turns again. Tries and goes right into the body of 3 central defenders for West. And it squibs out to Merlino. Van Rensselaer. Merlino. Schmidt was right there. He does not make the overlap run, and Merlino runs into a wall of white jerseys. And that is the half. So 1 on the board from Dylan Zeroni on a cracker of a shot has put the West Falcons leading 1-0 at the half. You're watching RIIL Boys Soccer on the Sports Fan Base Network, Rhode Island. Welcome back to second half action of RIIL Boys Soccer. Cranston East versus Cranston West, the rivalry game on the Sports Fan Base Network, Rhode Island. Matt Gillis with you here on the broadcast booth. Cranston West, 1 goal to the good on a strike by Dylan Zerone midway through the first half. And the West Falcons now here trying to make yet another run. West in the red kits with white trim and white numbers. East in the white kits with the green trim and numbers. Opportunity here for the Falcons. Thrown back in off the head of DeFazio. Popped up, comes out of bounds, and it'll be another opportunity for Van Rensselaer. Comes into Mellitz. Set and sitting is Lopez, and he has nowhere to go. And instead pops up off of one of his own teammates, in fact. DeFazio here now receiving the inbound from Van Rensselaer. Comes off. DeFazio tracing back. 1v1 battle there. It's Reyes. Reyes sends it in onto the body of Rodriguez Aponte. Aponte, wild shot, goes over top of the crossbar. Aponte striking from about 20 yards out, sends it sailing. And instead, Cataldi kicks into DeFazio. Mellitz for Lopez. Flicks it over top. Quick little one bounce. Scooped right up by Cataldi. Zerone. And a shot from long distance by Molina as everyone stood and watched. Comes back DeFazio now. Molina stays just barely in bounds, and Molina controls center of the pitch for Morales. Check that, Carrillo. Comes all the way back for Lenk. Dumped down there was Mestre, and he will get the free kick. Sent long. Bouncing ball. Reyes. Comes back to Carrillo. And a whistle and a appeal by the referee to tamper down the body bumping that's occurring as Carrillo now here makes a run against Evans. Throw an opportunity outside line. Comes in, goes off of Turquetta. Flicked on now here for Van Rensselaer. To the middle of the pitch. Sent back through Paquette, trying to release DeFazio on an overlap run, and he runs out of real estate. Deep throw for the Thunderbolts. It's Mellitz here. DeFazio intercepts that to Paquette. Bouncing back, Evans. To Zerone. Comes back for Thibodeau. They set back, and Van Rensselaer swings one into the 18, and it goes in the air before scooped by David White. White, long boot. It's going to come down just about middle of the pitch. Stepping up on that was Thibodeau. Bounces all the way through. Shielded by two defenders before White picks it up and boots the opposite direction now, and that ball will sail over the touchline for a West throw. Middle of the pitch for Zerone. Coming on a cross, a leading pass opportunity there, a little bit too ahead of his strikers. Van Rensselaer. Here's Rodriguez Aponte for the East Thunderbolts trying to get something started. He was looking for Andrade. Back third control now. Opportunity for Zerone, could not connect with him. Instead, it's intercepted by the Thunderbolts. Lopez now here with an opportunity, along with Rodriguez Aponte. And it is called off of a Falcons player and will send Lopez to the arc and another Thunderbolts corner. And the referee again having a bit of discussion from both sides as Lopez sends an in-swinging kick right to the 6. Controlled by Rodriguez Aponte, looking for a bicycle, and he's unable to complete the flick over top. So a 6 for West. Progressive play in the backfield now. 4 across, 2 defending on. It's East coming to the task. And now West will gain back as they switch. Van Rensselaer. Picked off by Molina. Molina trying to go back through the middle. He's intercepted, turned away. And Paquette now here as it has a run. Overlap opportunity. Coming back to Paquette at the center. Tic-tac-toe play. Paquette has it one more time as he's going to complete the switch to Van Rensselaer back on the outside, who has the overlap. Back to DeFazio. Taken off the play, and Molina goes the other way for the Thunderbolts. Lopez. Through everyone and will just be bumped back up to midfield by Cataldi. Comes over across. Falcons with an opportunity here. Strike on frame just to the right instead, and is scooped up by White. Came off of the foot of Paquette. Flicked over top and offsides is Rodriguez Aponte, but the referees don't call it. And it is blocked and taken out of bounds by the Falcons. A completely missed call. Opportunity now here for the Falcons, coming back up, trying to release Merlino on the overlap. Merlino's going deep to the line. He's tripped off the play. The ball stays, and Merlino's able to regain control. Lopez here on the restart. Sent in, controlled on the line. Trying to gain control of it was that of Turquetta. Now Raspallo. Switchfield play for Van Rensselaer. He can release Evans on the overlap. It goes through the middle of the alleyway and then is tipped off by Mellitz. And now Mellitz on the overlap has Rodriguez Aponte. It squibs around the body of Cataldi, but goes wide of the cage. They had 3 up in that of Melitz along with Rodriguez, Aponte, and Chaudhry. But the approaching Cataldi was enough to cut off the angle. Flicked over top. Lopez. Back onto Andrade. Andrade taken off the ball there. Sent back the other way. Controlled now midfield. Turqueta. To Melitz. Back to Lopez. Cranston West midfield is making much of the action here in the second half. They've been able to control and take East off of multiple opportunities. Now here's East trying to get something to go in the lower third. And as Lenk is bumped off the ball, he's going to get a free kick for the advantage, but also a little bit of talking to, again, by both sides. Always in rivalry matches, you'll see a lot of the heads bubbling and boiling as everyone wants to be able to go home with the bragging rights associated to a game like this. Controlled now midfield Mestre. Trying to release Andrade up. Back to Mestre. It gets bumped all the way and takes a run down the turf back into the lower third before it's finally controlled by Carrillo.
Now entering for Cranston West, number 23, Luke Smith.
"28 minutes left to go here in the match. West Falcons 1 to the good right now. Is White here. Clearing ball to middle of field. Bounces up over top before finally getting controlled by Raspallo. Comes back onto the foot of Andrade. Tracked back by 4 Falcons defenders. And comes up for Thibodeau. East trying to recontrol. Rodriguez Aponte. And this time the offsides whistle is blown. Rodriguez Aponte. 1v1 battle. Now gets it forward. Onto the foot of Andrade. Wild strike hits the post. Comes back. And it gets onto the foot of Melitz. And he has tied the match at 1. Rodriguez Aponte got one past Cataldi. It hit the right side post, bounced back to a waiting Melitz at the 6, and he strikes it to the twine.
Cranston East goal scored by number 11, Mario Melitz.
So with about 26 to go, we are all tied at 1. This is White. Midfield to Andrade. That's taken over by Turqueta. Onto the foot of Lenk. Restart out of bounds. Midfield. Lopez. Now for Andrade on the outside line. 1v1 battle. They're tied up with Raspallo, who was a head and a foot to the ball. So he gets the advantage called and a restart. Center of the pitch here for Schmidt. He ties up with Carrillo. Comes back for Zerone. And Zerone's going to exit the match now.
Entering for West, number 22.
So 2 substitutions for the Falcons.
And number 16, Mason Ashe.
Sends Zerone and DeFazio to the bench. Throw in by East. Body of Molina. Molina sends one into the lower third. A single bounce. Easily picked up by Cataldi. Controlled here. It's Thibodeau. Overlapping run. Trying to get on the outside line. Connects. And then sends it outside. So a 6. A goal in the first half for West from Dylan Zerone. A goal early in the second half from Mario Melitz for East has us honors even at 1. Is Paquette. Bumped off the ball there. And a West throw from Turquetta. Cross midfield for Thibodeau. Back in space, controlled by DeFazio. Tracks back in a 1v1 battle between Raspallo and Benton. Tapped off away by Raspallo. Comes through. Bounced off of the play. Molina. Overlap opportunity here. This is Benton. Dropped down inside of the 18. No call. And Benton visibly frustrated at the play as a re-kick now comes back. Tempted to be controlled there on the outside line by DeFazio right at the center of the pitch. And while it is still early in the afternoon as the cloud cover has set in on Cranston, it has prompted the lights to come on here at the Cranston West High School Stadium. .22 and change left to go here in the second half. We will get a mask break in the second half like we did in the first, coming up in just a few short minutes of time. They try to get as close to midway through as you possibly can. We do play 40-minute halves in high school. It's controlled here by Reyes. Reyes trying to go through 4 West defenders. He has to track back for a second and then flicks it on the outside. Attempt there for Lopez. It's kicked by Mason Akay off the back of Lopez. Ashe. Lopez, 1v1 battle. Gets some help there from Thibodeau. Comes back for Reyes. Long strike from Molina is batted down by Cataldi and controlled. And he will push everyone up and then take the boot all the way to midfield. A skip and a jump, and it gets on to the foot of Lenk. Sent back in for Thibodeau. Drops back now. Andrade. Andrade dumped down, control given, and the advantage given to West. Opportunity here. They come outside line for Ashe. Evans nutmegged. It gets picked up by Paquette, and he throws it on net, but that is controlled by White. A bit of rhyme play there. Paquette throws one on net. Gotta love when you can get moments like that in sports. Here's an overlap opportunity. That gets onto the foot of Chaudhry. Chaudhry can't control, runs out of real estate outside of the byline, and so it will be a 6 for West. A vocal supporting section from the right side of our broadcast position and that of the West families, as this is the last regular season game for both of these sides. And a strike from Lopez hits the upper 90 crossbar, controlled by Cataldi on the rebound, and then he is dumped down by Chaudhry. No whistle by the referee for interference. Feeling if Cataldi had lost control of the ball in that bump, he would have then gotten the call. But since he maintained control, the referee just decided to play it similar to a field advantage play. This is Mellitz for Andrade. Controlled in between two defenders, it's Reyes. Reyes taking a run against Conti, comes on a crossing shot, and Cataldi flies across the frame and traps it down. Up for a Shea. Thibodeau. Midfield run bodied up there was DeSimone. Turns it over. Lopez. It's tracked all the way back, and as they try to connect in the backfield for Mellitz, and then that is the whistle and the break in the first half. So one back from East off of the foot of Mario Mellitz has us all knotted 1-1. You're listening and watching RIIL Boys Soccer on the Sports Fan Base Network, Rhode Island.
Camera, floor comes to the scoreboard.
And we're back in action here, knotted at 1 on Sports Fan Base Network Rhode Island, RIIL Boys Soccer regular season action. The rivalry game between the Cranston East Thunderbolts and the Cranston West Falcons. A midway mask break under the return to rules plays. And here is an opportunity for a West-controlled ball midfield. Trying to release over top is Thibodeau in a 1v1 defensive situation now. Comes back from Molina. Over top. Andrade. Wild strike goes up and doinks off of the football crossbars. And comes down.
Wow, that's crazy. This is new too. Yeah.
Be a restart here for Cataldi. Thibodeau. To Molina. Back for Lopez. Strike again by Andrade, this time right into the hands of Cataldi.
They said that the first half of the Belgrade game, they said it came out that it was bad.
Long ball outside of the byline here in a 6 for the Falcons. Sorry, check that for the Thunderbolts, and this goes into the body of Molina. Taken over top. Raspallo had it. Turnover, and it squibs wide, and Cataldi will be content to just let it go outside of the byline and take the 6. Comes Perche. Kicked back now to the foot of Turquetta. Turquetta sends a looping ball all the way down in the alley, trying to release DeFazio. Now Turquetta trying to split through 4 white jerseys. Controlled for a second by Thibodeau and then whistled dead by the referees, and they give advantage to East. Restart. Sent back. Thibodeau recorrects his mistake by taking the interception, puts it onto the foot of Paquette. Drop back pass. Attempted shot there. Goes out to Evans on the corner and then squibs out of the byline, and it will be a Falcons corner.
Now entering for Cranston West.
Luke Schmidt had a try on goal there as both sides looking for their second to break a 1-1 tie. Here comes Bright back into the center. It was onto the foot of Schmidt, and he was unable to control. Comes all the way back and is then shepherded out. Throw in, kicked away by Carrillo, and it will be once again a Falcons throw. Back to Simone. Schmidt, wide shot, way wide of everything. Out for a 6. Midfield send. Intercepted by Schmidt. Evans. Back into the middle. They'll come back out to Evans on the outside. He can release Thibodeau in the alley. Thibodeau goes center to Schmidt, and it's just over top of his head as he leaps trying to get it on frame. A smart 1-2 opportunity there for the Falcons, but the pass just a bit high. Back out, middle of the pitch, through Schmidt. Turquetta comes back for Van Rensselaer. He will pass back, and Cataldi will redistribute back into the center of the field one more time for Thibodeau. Turquetta trying to control in front of the East bench. picked up now. Switch field opportunity here. They can release Evans on the outside line. It was onto the foot of DeSimone, and he was unable to complete the transaction. Now he does. Evans flicks it forward. Paquette bumped out of play from McDonough. Restart here from O'Shea. Dumped down on the control opportunity was Thibodeau. Falcons hold the ball for the moment as it is ping-ponging around the center of the pitch. Evans, just out of the reach of Schmidt, comes back into the center for Molina. Stepping over top of that is Reyes, and Reyes goes toe-to-toe and is then guilty of pushing the ball out of bounds. Falcons throw in. Schmidt is unable to control. So this is Mellits. 13 left to go in the second half. Honors even at 1. Looping pass goes over top of Rodriguez Aponte. Cataldi to Reyes. This comes back. Rodriguez Aponte has it open in space. Gets the shot off that dribbles up and is tapped by Cataldi, and then he is able to control on the second grab. And he swings one on the outside distribution to O'Shea. Cross from Conti. Van Rensselaer. Turnover in the lower third. Dangerous opportunity there. And they have to come all the way across the approaching Molina and push it out the byline for a corner. Smart pickup play by Michael Conti to get over and take the ball away from Jose Molina, or he was going to have an easy run on net. Now they will switch up the option here as Mellits, who scored the goal for the Thunderbolts, is going to go to the corner. And that very interesting pattern run by the Thunderbolts as they keep everyone outside of the 6 until the kick. Now here's a looping play from the center of the pitch, controlled by Cataldi. Schmidt bumped off of the play by Carrillo. O'Shea back in the middle. Evans bodied up by 2 East defenders. Sent back in, and a hard kick comes from Andrade, comes off of the face of Turqueta. Sorry, check that, of Evans. And in the cold, as is of 40 degrees weather in Rhode Island in mid-November, that will sting for a moment. And an interesting substitution situation here is Cataldi is going to exit the game with 10.5 left to play. And Mario Renzi is going to come in. Schmidt looks to turn here. Needs options to the outside. He gets one in Murray. Jacob Murray saying his first action of the night for the Falcons. Ball comes all the way back, stays inbounds, and then is finally knocked over. Andrade tried to pick it up and act as though he had the throw, but the West players quickly threw up their arms, and the referee saw it as well. Murray, middle of the pitch for DeSimone, trying to release through for Paquette. Now comes back for O'Shea. Conti. Controlled opposite side touchline. Here's Paquette with an opportunity. Has Schmidt in the center if he can gain space. He's at the 18 at the byline. Goes straight across, but it's outside before he can get it across, and so it will be a 6. Booted away. Midfield pickup. It's off the foot of DeSimone. Setting up forward for Caballero. Caballero. Switched back. And a shot all the way from about 40 yards out. Sails to the left. DeSimone just taking a crack on goal as he had no other options.
For West, number 8, Dylan Zerone.
And Dylan Zerone re-enters the game. Zerone had the West goal in the first half. That put them up 1-0 at the moment until Melitz struck back early in the second half and knotted the match at 1, where we currently stand. Both of these sides have knocked on the door at moments during the second stanza, trying to get that second goal to go away. Last time these two teams played back on October 24th, the result was 2-1 in a game that was away at East. Controlled now here on the outside line is DeSimone. Looking for both Schmidt and Murray in the center. Comes back, picked up by a Shea. It's Murray. Booted back again as East is content seemingly to clear the zone. And West then picks up and tries to re-enter with that of DeSimone and Schmidt. This one scoots through and goes all the way into the hands of White. David White, long, high boot, comes down just short of the center line and then gets controlled for a moment by Reyes before he runs out of real estate. Murray on the restart here. DeSimone up to Schmidt. Comes back. Murray can overlap in the alley here. He's 1v1, defended by Melitz. And Murray will have the restart. Bumped away. Center opportunity there, and it's kicked out by a couple of different East defenders as Murray sent a ball in. Looked like Conti had an opportunity on it, as did Schmidt. Second chance again. Schmidt has an opportunity, and that's headed away by an East defender, and we'll have yet another corner. The Falcons are knocking on the door. Can they put one to the bank? Here's Murray again. Schmidt, third time blocked away by the East defense and kicked out to midfield. Flicked over top. Now they're trying to get Rodriguez Aponte on a run here. He's 1v1 with Van Rensselaer. It clicks back over, and a squib kick that goes deep into the corner has to be controlled and cleared out by the Falcons defense. Center of the pitch for Thibodeau. Molina. Now Reyes. Reyes switch fields on his own, and now we'll switch back the other way. Looking for Carrillo. Caballero. Falcons trying to carry out of the zone now. Gets onto the foot of Shea.
Cranston West, number 010, Mario Renzi.
Now controlled here on the touchline again in a 1v1 battle, and Andrade guilty of the out of bounds ball. It'll be a Shea for the throw in. Flicked off by Murray. Back to a Shea. Tries to control it to Thibodeau. Thibodeau will reverse. A Shea now. Trying to send to Schmidt. It's disrupted by Carrillo and sent out of bounds. Schmidt turning. Has Molina right in front of him, so he has to track off of the ball for a second. Thibodeau tries to go through. He cannot. It's booted back by the East center back defense, controlled by a Shea. Flicks through for Murray. Murray went to go to the center. He was trying to get onto the foot of DeSimone. This goes over top, and a run from Andrade is stopped, but it's picked up by Lopez. Lopez center to Rodriguez Aponte. Pushed back by the West defense. Now to Reyes. He switches field for Andrade. Back again, Molina. And a throw in on the outside. Molina for a second was going to take it and then hands it off to Mestri. As Rodriguez Aponte exits the game in favor of Cale Benton. This is Benton. 1v1 with the West defense, who becomes the better of that one as Benton is guilty of it going out of bounds. Thibodeau trying to gain control here, and seems as though we have a back-forth battle in the center third. As East is trying to see if they can knock on the door. West had 3 straight corner kicks, 3 straight opportunities from Schmidt. Could not get one past David White. Here's an opportunity now for DeSimone. Switching field, Schmidt calling for it. Looping ball goes over top of everyone and over top of the goal as well. A smart thought and a smart try from Turqueta. Back to center now. Andrade. Dangerous play called as he kicked way high up. We're within sight of the last minute to play here. Still knotted at 1. West with the ball. Kicked all the way inside to the arc. Right at the 18. Pops back out now. Controlled by Turqueta. Comes across for DeSimone. DeSimone. Schmidt has an opportunity here right at the top of the 18. Comes back. Thibodeau has a kick. Turqueta has the ball. He makes a turn. Now back to DeSimone. To Thibodeau. Schmidt. That's booted away. Andrade has it for East. And that is the whistle in the end of the game, and it's going to go. Honors even, 1-1. So a goal early in the first half from Zerone is countered by a goal from Mellitz in the second half, and East versus West finished the season knotted at 1. We thank you all for tuning in and watching RIIL Boys Soccer on the Sports Fan Base Network Rhode Island. For Matt Ellis, Ron Robert, Laura Caruso, Mason Belcher, and everyone on the SFBNRI family, good night.
Side of the field.